A federal grand jury may soon hear from Sean Diddy Combs' accusers. Federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs before a federal grand jury. Two sources familiar with the probe tell us, signaling the U.S. Justice Department is moving toward potentially seeking an indictment of Combs. Possible witnesses have been notified by investigators that they could be brought in to testify in front of a federal grand jury in New York City, according to one source. Bringing individuals who have filed civil lawsuits against Combs before a grand jury would mark a significant escalation in the government's ongoing investigation involving the producer and Bad Boy Records founder. Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits since November, 7 directly accusing him of sexual assault. One of the 8 lawsuits, filed by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, has been settled. Another lawsuit accused his son Christian Combs of sexual assault, and Sean Combs is accused of aiding and abetting. A spokesperson for the Homeland Security Investigations Agency declined to comment on the existence of a grand jury, but noted the investigation remains ongoing. These potential witnesses have not yet been prepped for testimony, both sources told us, cautioning that HSI investigators are still in the process of gathering evidence and questioning potential sources of information in their federal probe into Combs. One source said investigators are being thorough and taking their time to ensure that an indictment, should there be one, is bulletproof. Grand juries comprised of ordinary citizens are critical tools used by prosecutors, providing both an investigative function in approving the subpoenaing of documents and witnesses, and a vote on whether to criminally charge suspects. The use of a grand jury signals a particular case has moved beyond the preliminary stage where investigators generally assess whether possible violations of the law are believed to have been committed. Feds have interviewed multiple Combs accusers. Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami were searched back in March. At that time, we reported that the rapper and entrepreneur was the target of a federal investigation carried out by a Department of Homeland Security team that handles human trafficking crimes, and the ongoing investigation included a focus on sex trafficking, according to law enforcement sources. Now, additional sources told us that the majority of the plaintiffs who have filed civil suits against Combs have been interviewed by federal investigators. Combs has vehemently denied claims from many of the civil suits but has not responded to all of the allegations. In December 2023, after 4 lawsuits had been filed against him, Combs posted a fierce denial on his social media, writing that sickening allegations had been made by accusers looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. Per a law enforcement source, that the investigation stems from many of the sexual assault allegations put forth in several of the civil lawsuits against Combs. We has learned that the scope of the investigation is much larger, focusing on sex trafficking, money laundering, and illegal drugs. In addition to human trafficking, HSI also investigates narcotics smuggling and other organized criminal activity. It's much bigger than just these lawsuits, one of the sources familiar with the scope of the investigation said. Federal investigators are now digging deeper, and some of the accusers have been questioned numerous times, a source said. A second source corroborates this current state of the investigation. Accusers who have spoken to federal agents during the investigation have been actively cooperating with investigators, with some handing over evidence they believe may be helpful in the probe, one source said. Investigators are also bringing in new individuals for questioning, including corroborating witnesses of accusers. Evidence includes video from Combs' residences. Federal agents are in possession of video taken inside of Combs' recently searched residences, a source said. It's unclear whether the video was seized during the raids, or whether investigators obtained video from individuals they have been questioning. They are contacting people that they've found on the tapes, a source told. At least one male sex worker, who claims he has been victimized by Combs, has been questioned during the investigation, one source said, adding that this individual was seen in footage that is in possession of the federal investigators. In some of the lawsuits against Combs, accusers have alleged that they were informed, after the fact, that they were recorded having sex without giving their consent to be filmed. Combs has not responded to this specific accusation, but he dismissed all alleged wrongdoing in a blanket denial he posted in December 2023. In some of the civil suits, Combs is alleged of drugging multiple accusers. In the 2 most recent lawsuits filed against Combs within the past week, former fashion student April Lamprose and former model Crystal McKinney both accused Combs of drugging them. In Lamprose's suit, she claims that Combs forced her to take ecstasy, and then demands she have sexual intercourse with one of his former girlfriends before raping her. Combs was also accused in a civil suit filed last November of intentionally drugging and sexually assaulting Joy Dickerson Neal back in 1991, when she was a college student. Though his legal team has filed a motion to dismiss portions of this suit, Dickerson Neal also accused Combs of revenge porn, claiming that Combs secretly recorded the sexual assault. Days later, a male friend revealed to Dickerson Neal that he had viewed it, according to her claim. Combs' team did not respond to specific allegations of drugging or secret recordings, but a spokesperson at the time said the complaint was made up and not credible, discrediting the accusations as purely a money grab. In their motion to dismiss, which is still pending, attorneys for Combs called Dickerson Neal's allegations false, offensive, and salacious.